I don't believe in taking right decisions. I take decisions and then make them right. None can destroy iron, but its own rust can. Likewise, none can destroy a person, but its own mindset can. If you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk together. Ups and downs in life are very important to keep us going, because a straight line even in an ECG means we are not alive. The day I am not able to fly will be a sad day for me. I admire people who are very successful. But if that success has been achieved through too much ruthlessness, then I may admire that person, but I can't respect him. I came seriously close to getting married 4 times, and each time I backed off in fear or for one reason or another. Each occasion was different, but in hindsight when I look at the people involved, it wasn't a bad thing what I did. I think it may have been more complex had the marriage taken place. 100 years from now, I expect the Tatas to be much bigger than it is now. More importantly, I hope the group comes to be regarded as being the best in India. Best in the manner in which we operate, best in the products we deliver, and best in our value systems and ethics. Having said that, I hope that 100 years from now we will spread our wings far beyond India, take the stones people throw at you, and use them to build a monument. There are many things that, if I have to relive, maybe I will do it another way. But I would not like to look back and think what I have not been able to. Apart from values and ethics which I have tried to live by, the legacy I would like to leave behind is a very simple one, that I have always stood up for what I consider to be the right thing, and I have tried to be as fair and equitable as I could be. One of the weaknesses of Indian industry is that in many areas, like consumer goods, it is very fragmented. Individually, the companies might not be able to survive. What is needed is a consortium of like companies in one industry, presenting a strong front to the multinationals. The Swiss watch industry did this. The early Rockefellers made their wealth from being in certain businesses and remained personally very wealthy. Tatas were different in the sense the future generations were not so wealthy. They were involved in the business, but most of the family wealth was put into trust and most of the family did not enjoy enormous wealth. I followed someone who had very large shoes. He had very large shoes. Mr. J.R.D. Tata. He was a legend in the Indian business community. He had been at the helm of the Tata organization for 50 years. You were almost starting to think he was going to be there forever. I have always been very confident and very upbeat about the future potential of India. I think it is a great country with great potential. Young entrepreneurs will make a difference in the Indian ecosystem. I would say that one of the things I wish I could do differently would be to be more outgoing. I am proud of my country. But we need to unite to make a unified India, free of communalism and casteism. We need to build India into a land of equal opportunity for all. We can be a truly great nation if we set our sights high and deliver to the people the fruits of continued growth. Prosperity and equal opportunity. When you see in places like Africa and parts of Asia abject poverty, hungry children and malnutrition around you, and you look at yourself as being people who have well-being and comforts, I think it takes a very insensitive, tough person not to feel they need to do something. Power and wealth are not two of my main stakes. The strong live and the weak die. There is some bloodshed, and out of it emerges a much leaner industry, which tends to survive. Some foreign investors accuse us of being unfair to shareholders by using our resources for community development. Yes, this is money that could have made for dividend payouts, but it also is money that's uplifting and improving the quality of life of people in the rural areas where we operate and work. We owe them that. At Tatas, we believe that if we are not among the top 3 in an industry, we should look seriously at what it would take to become one of the top 3 players. Or think about exiting the industry. I will certainly not join politics. I would like to be remembered as a clean businessman who has not partaken in any twists and turns beneath the surface, and one who has been reasonably successful. If it stands the test of public scrutiny, do it. If it doesn't stand the test of public scrutiny, then don't do it. I may have hurt some people along the way, but I would like to be seen as somebody who has done his best to do the right thing for any situation and not compromised. What I would like to do is to leave behind a sustainable entity of a set of companies that operate in an exemplary manner in terms of ethics, values, and continue what our ancestors left behind. What I would like to do is to leave behind a sustainable entity of a set of companies that operate in an exemplary. I do not know how history will judge me, but let me say that I've spent a lot of time and energy trying to transform the Tatas from a patriarchal concern to an institutional enterprise. It would, therefore, be a mark of failure on my part if it were perceived that ratantata epitomizes the group's success. What I have done is establish growth mechanisms, play down individuals and play up the team that has made the companies what they are. I, for one, am not the kind who loves dwelling on the I. If history remembers me at all, I hope it will be for this transformation. I think the environment has become more competitive. That has made Indian industry more concerned with A, its customers, B, the quality of its products, and C, its brand image in the marketplace. I've never believed protectionism of that kind will lead us anywhere. I think you can have certain specific rules for engaging with India. For example, not allowing mineral resources to be taken out of the country. But there is not a shred of doubt in my mind that when you open an economy you should do it in totality. Foreign investment adds a sense of competition. We should see this as a wake-up call to modernize and upgrade. Companies that do not will undoubtedly die. I think the Tata Group's greatest contribution to the growth of the Indian economy and Indian industry probably happened in the pre-independence era. The group's investments in industries such as steel, textiles, power and hotels were certainly driven by an entrepreneurial spirit. But they were driven even more, I think, by a desire to make India self-sufficient and independent of its colonial masters then. The country is now universally recognized as a nation on the move and takes its place amongst the successful economies in the region. The future potential is enormous, but the country's destiny is in our hands. The time has come to move from small increments to bold, large initiatives. The time has come to stretch the envelope and set goals which were earlier not seen to be possible. The time has come for performance to be measured and for allocated funds of the government to reach the people for whom they were intended. Britain needs a real push. It needs nationalism. The sort of spirit that comes during a war. It needs people really to want to see the UK sitting again, maybe not as a colonial power, but as an economic power.